The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. End zone, Jake Ferguson.
Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
It's a Monday morning edition of Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, live from the Star in Frisco, Texas in the SWBC studios. Welcome in, everybody. The bye week is now in the rearview mirror, and we are back here on Talkin Cowboys, getting ready for the next matchup for the Cowboys coming up on Monday Night Football against the Las Vegas Raiders. We've got Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish with Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. Isaiah out on Good Morning Football this morning. As those that may know, going into the bye week, we had a lot of expectations. There were a lot of things on the mind of Cowboys fans whenever it came to this football team, and it came to winning games and getting back to 500 and trying to right the ship when it came to the game that we all love and we all know. The expectations of the bye week turned very quickly, and they turned very suddenly on Wednesday. It's tough to talk about. This is the first time that we've been on the mics since the passing of Marshawn Kneeland at 24 years old here in Frisco just under a week ago. And I know we've each kind of done our own thing over the bye week. We've each had our moments. I know I've shared some with my family and with my friends, and we've had phone calls and text messages. And you check on those loved ones around you, and you continuously pour into those because of something like this that sends such a devastating reminder of how fragile life is and how much those around you care about. And I do want to talk about it because I think it is something that needs to be talked about, and I think it's something that needs to be shared among those that were within the building. And I know we've heard stories and opinions on the whole thing, whatever it may be. You've heard about it by now, I think, if you're a Cowboys fan. But to lose Marshawn Kneeland the way that he did pass away this past week was devastating to the entire organization, whether you're a media member, whether you're a player, a coach, a staff member, it doesn't matter. It was pretty devastating, even to the fans. And I've seen a lot of the love poured out from the fans this past week. But I want to open the floor. I'm going to start with you, Patrik, because I know you were very close with Marshawn. And I mean, you and I were here the weekend he was drafted, and we were both really excited about it, coming out of Western Michigan. And I know you guys had quite the relationship as well, but I'd like to open the floor for whatever you have to say.
First.
You want to go the other way? I'll start with you, Tommy.
Yeah, it's devastating. I think it brings you back to earth a little bit when things like this happen, unfortunately. And obviously, thoughts and prayers to Marshawn's family, his girlfriend Catalina. I've only been here for about a year and a half, so I didn't really know Marshawn all too well. But every time we spoke to him, he was a pleasure to speak to, always willing to speak. Probably didn't like the media as much as some other guys in terms of going and talking to him, but he was always very kind and gracious with his time, and you could tell that he was respected by his teammates and appreciated by his teammates. 24 years old, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. I mean, he's 2 years older than me, and so I hope that this served as, for everybody to kind of check on your loved ones. One phone call, one text, you don't know how long that can go, how much of a ways that can go. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know what people are going through. So it's always good to lean on the side of just treat everybody with respect, because even if somebody's not the best person, they might just be having a rough day. And at the end of the day, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay to talk about not being okay. So there is help available, and I hope that if you are going through something, you can lean on that help. Some things you can do, you can call the 988 Lifeline. for help. That's one thing. You can text Coalition to 741-741. You can connect with the crisis counselor through there. Findsupport.gov, mhanational.org, other mental health sites that can hopefully give you some resources and lead you in the right direction. Visit a psychiatrist, psychologist, mental health expert. Just get help. The world is better with you in it, and I believe that from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, and for lack of being performative, I really don't have a whole lot to say on the matter as for, in regards to Marshawn Kneeland. Everything that I've heard about him, I didn't know him at all, but everything that I've heard about him is that he was an affable guy. He was always easy to talk to. He was just a genuine kid. I mean, he was a kid, right? 24 years old. So to hear all of that over the weekend and since his tragic passing, it echoes, like you're saying, just checking on everybody in your life and being able to be there for your friends no matter what, your family. That's tough, man. And one thing that I don't want for this to kind of lead to is people saying, the expectations of the team going forward and, this should light a fire. I don't want to hear that phrase, and I don't want to hear any rhetoric of that sort. I think you know better at home. This is something that is incalculable as far as a loss goes to those guys in the locker room and people around the building that knew him. And not to say that that was me at all, but just seeing how it affected everybody is. This is our first time basically in the office since that happened. So
Yeah.
It's tough. There are a lot of people in this room even that, had personal relationships with him. That's tough to see other people go through that. The only thing that I can echo right now is just to check on your friends. Yeah. Always be willing to have an open ear to that. And toxic masculinity always kind of gets in the way sometimes of us opening up to each other and checking on your friends once in a while just to make sure everything's going okay. Tommy, you're excellent at doing that. I feel like you're always checking on your guys. Kyle does that. Patrik does that. Just be that for your friend, even if your friend is not the most forthcoming person. Whoever it is, family, friends, check on your people always, and let them know that you're always there.
So I've struggled to find words for days now. The message that I put out on Twitter, on X last night, I wrote that message out Saturday morning, I want to say, but I couldn't bring myself to hit send on it. We're going to get through. So, whether you knew Marshon or not, you felt the existence of his spirit. Whether it be a passing moment you had with him or hearing about his energy or seeing his smile in interviews or at practice, or I don't think anyone can honestly say they've ever seen him upset. That's the kind of light that he put into the world. Give me a second. Mm-hmm. So that's the light that's now gone from the world. I have so much to say. Shouts out to my wife. She really helped me navigate as best she could. Because in a situation like this, I have so many questions. And, let me also say, condolences isn't a word that qualifies for what I feel for his family and Catalina. I wish there was more I could say. I wish there was more I could have done. But that young man was like a little brother to me. You guys know, everybody who has access to the locker room after nearly every practice, even if it's just for a couple minutes at a time, who am I talking to? Whose locker am I at?
Huh?
Or if I'm standing in the middle of the locker room just kind of surveying who comes up to me and starts talking. And I mean, we've talked about things here at work. We talked about things outside of work. So many common interests that I swear he just became a younger brother to me. So this hits on so many levels. But what I will say is what I can say. As I just have words just and feelings just jumbled in my head, I'm trying to sort through them. Mental health. Anybody who knows me or has known me for even a small period of time knows how passionate I am about mental health and mental health advocacy. And the added layer to losing Marshon is the fashion in which we lost him. Mm-hmm. I plead with everyone, if you need help, I personally know how difficult it is. I sit here and I've verbalized this before, I sit here as a 2-time survivor of suicide attempts. I know how difficult it is, especially as a man of color, to just say, can I talk to you for a second? Do you have a moment? I know how hard that is, but I can also tell you from experience that just saying that simple phrase can save your life. Because a lot of times it's just a matter of opening the gate and then letting whatever come out. Don't sit with the demons, they will win. Don't fight with them in the dark, they will win. The only way to defeat the demons is to turn the light on. That's the way to do it. I say the same thing to every Cowboys player, everyone I see. One of my favorite phrases to ask is, you solid? And I'm not asking that generically or performatively. I'm genuinely asking, are you solid on any given day? You okay? That's my way of saying, if you're not solid, come, let's talk about this real quick. Because as much as God tasks me with carrying, one of the things I feel that I'm here to do is to just try to help others through things that I've been through myself. So, Marshon, I wish we could have talked more about your demons. But in the end, just know that you will not be forgotten. What occurred with you will serve as that much more motivation for others like myself and other mental health advocates to double, triple, quadruple down on their efforts to not only their loved ones, because obviously check on your loved ones, especially the strong ones, the ones that never say anything is wrong. Trust me, something's wrong sooner or later. But also with strangers, those that you don't know, they're just as important. You never know what someone is going through at any given point in time, and your empathy should not be halted by the fact that you don't know them. Get to know them if you can. So it's a long-winded way of just saying, Marshon, I'm blessed to be able to sit here and tell you that I gave you your roses when you could smell them. I told you I love you when you could hear it. And his last words to me were, I'll see you later, Pat. You will. It'll be a while, though. Because I got work to do. And that work now includes making sure your legacy continues. But I'll see you later, bro. Be at peace.
Love you, bud. I know that was tough. And We talk about the family a little bit, and we do it in a lighthearted way on Talkin, but this is where the family turns into family, and you guys share these moments with us, and everybody grieves in different ways. Everybody deals with certain things in different ways whenever they are here, and Marshon is another example of that. I mean, like all three of these guys said, I mean, he was a light in the locker room. He always had a smile on his face, always willing to joke and talk and be around people. And, of course, as much as we're grieving on the media side, his team is broken right now. I mean, his team is broken up about it. And I know this is the first day, Josh mentioned it, that we're kind of back in the building as staff members. It's also the first day for the team. It's the first day for this organization as a whole to come together. And I know there's going to be talks and conversations about the staff members side and the coaching staff and the player side of how to move on. And it's not easy. It's tough. It really is, because he'll always be there. You'll always think about him. And as much as we do sit up here and we talk about football, this is bigger than the game of football, and it will always be bigger than the game of football. We miss you, Marshon. We love you. Rest easy, 94. It's going to be a long time. This one's going to take a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we're going to flip the page a little bit, and we're going to talk about news and notes. We're going to get back to what we do here on Talkin Cowboys, and that's provide coverage for the Cowboys. But just know it's never going to be the same. Not after losing a player and a person like that. And again, as Tommy said, could you run through those one more time?
Sure.
Where you could find help if you are dealing with something? Talk to those around you, and share the love that you have for everybody whenever you get the opportunity.
Absolutely, and there's no shame in doing it whatsoever. You can call or text the 988 Lifeline for immediate help. Obviously, in an emergency, please call 911. Yep. You can text Coalition, COALITION, to 741-741 to connect with a crisis counselor. There are different websites out there like findsupport.gov or mhanational.org. Other mental health sites, you can find treatment options, other resources, different things like that, or visit a psychiatrist, psychologist, or another mental health expert near you. Please do it if you're feeling like you need the help. It's okay, and there will be somebody to support you.
I'll say one more thing. Mm-hmm. If you follow me on any platform, my ear is always available. I have spoken with so many who struggle with mental health, so many who were afraid that there was no one to listen, so many that thought therapy was pointless until we had a conversation about it. And I am thankful to God to be able to say the following statement. There are several people still walking this earth, and we still talk to this day, that I've built relationships with, and we've been able to help them get through. But it was because they reached out. So I am available. You are not alone. I promise you. The demons will lie to you. They will try to corner you. They will try to box everyone out and say that you have to do this by yourself, but you don't. You don't. And the sooner you realize that, the more you'll realize your value to the world. It's like Tommy said, trust me, the world is a better place with you in it, which is why God put you in it in the first place. Yeah. So effective 5 minutes ago, yesterday, a week ago, if you feel like you need to reach out to someone and you're uncomfortable reaching out to those around you immediately because of whatever situation you might be in, add Voice of the Star.
Yeah.
I'm listening. We can talk.
Love that. All right. Let's do the impossible thing. We're going to talk some football when we come back. Love you, Marshon. Love you, everybody listening. Love you, brother. Love you, brother. Love you, brother.
Love you.
You guys are the best. Chris in the back, I know he's probably got 8 hours of listening to people talk about this to start their shows, and it can't be easy across the board because it's a sad day here at the Star. It really is. All right. Talking Cowboys will return here in a minute.
Every day begins with a promise to work hard and to build a future. That's why we're here, providing the tools, expertise, and John Deere equipment you have relied on for generations to help you get the job done right. We're with you. That's our promise to you, because no matter the project or the challenge you're facing,
we're with you. We're united.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impact 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
How's it going? You see that Cowboys game?
Oh, I watched. Been seeing some good things.
Totally. They have some talent.
Yup, some great talent.
And they got some fight.
Hoping this is the year.
Me too. Oh, I'm Cody, by the way.
I'm Travis.
Nice to meet you, Travis. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
Make a new friend based solely on their shirt choice. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Make sure and wear your your Dallas Cowboys gear to a Black Rifle Coffee Company on game day. Coming up on Monday, again, second opportunity on a weekday to go get some 10% off your coffee order, your entire order at Black Rifle Coffee. All right, we've got some football to talk about. The Cowboys are back in the building today following the bye week. Like we said in the opening segment, it wasn't the bye week that I think this team anticipated, but still an opportunity to be around loved ones and be around all those that were close to them this week. I saw Dak went back to Houghton, Louisiana, had a field dedication with his high school. Dak Prescott Field, right? Is it just Prescott Field or is it Dak Prescott?
I think it's just Prescott Field.
It's still really cool.
Still pretty great, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, he went out there with the whole family, got to see that, and there were a lot of great social media clips about that that he dealt with. Tommy, I'm going to pass it to you for some news and notes. Not a ton of movement over a week after the trade deadline and a week off from football action.
Yeah, really nothing particularly big new. I think the last big things happened, obviously, Logan Wilson and Quinnen Williams acquired in the trade. Malik Davis was waived and then brought back on the practice squad. Remember, he came up to the active roster and was Dallas's RB2 in that last game against Arizona, replacing Jaden Blue. So now he goes back to the practice squad. I think they still have one elevation left for him. Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas.
For whom?
Malik Davis.
Yes.
Okay, so they've got one left for him. If that is still a competition for that running back 2 spot, if memory serves me correctly, I think he only got 1 carry in that last game. So they're leaning a lot on Javonte Williams. So whoever is in that RB2 spot probably won't get as many touches as other second running backs around the league will get. But something to watch, and we'll see what they decide to do against Vegas.
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, for anybody that's like curious why Malik Davis is getting the reps over Jaden Blue, I would argue it's pass protection. I think that's something that you can knock on Jaden Blue so far in his reps that you've seen so far this year. That's something that the coaches are really emphasizing as far as technique-wise goes for Jaden Blue. Whenever that is inconsistent, I think that's when the coaches are like, all right, let's peel it back, man. Like, you got to remain focused on this aspect of your game as well as carrying. And while he had a few carries, nothing explosive quite yet. Nothing that you would expect to see out of Jaden Blue. You did expect to see a fumble. That did happen, and that's one of the knocks that you've had on Jaden Blue. But for me, the reason why he's not getting those touches is because of the pass protection aspect.
I feel like as the Cowboys try to figure out their RB2 situation, because obviously they have their bell cow in Javonte, we all know. My opinion, it's time to inject Phil Maffa into the conversation. I don't know exactly where he is in his recovery with the shoulder, but we're having this conversation on November 10th.
Yeah, they haven't activated his 21-day.
His 21-day window hasn't been activated.
I wonder if that's just kind of a red shirt thing. He was dealing with something early. They put him on IR, and they're saying, let's get you through the season. Red shirt almost, and then let's hit this thing again next year and see what happens.
I hope it's not something that's severe that requires a red shirt.
Yeah, that would.
Especially in a situation where, like we're sitting here talking about. So you give Jaden Blue his shot. He's inactive. He's inactive. He's inactive. He's active. He's active. He's active. He's inactive. Malik Davis is elevated, signed to the active roster, waived, back on the practice squad. You're trying to figure all of this stuff out. And there's this variable in Phil Maffa that you haven't test driven yet.
Yeah.
So my simple point is, if Phil Maffa is ready for his 21-day practice window to be activated, strategically, I don't see a reason to not do so. I will say this. I'm not sure because this is a new situation for me as far as covering the team with the loss that we've all had with Marshon. So not sure how that's supposed to go, but I will say I hope that they carry 52 men for the rest of the season. I don't want them to carry 53. I want them to figure out how to get around that. I get it.
Wow.
I get it. But if you talk about honoring someone, that's how you would honor him. I don't, but that being said,
that's something I haven't even thought about.
Yeah, I think the highest way for them to be able to honor him outside of some more just celebration of life type things is just carry 52 and leave the 53rd spot vacant, because that's Marshon's seat. Now, that being said, work around that and figure out if Phil Maffa is ready for practice. I think you return him so that you can have a more complete answer to the question of RB2, not just this year, but your dynamic for 2026 as well, because you don't know if you're going to be able to re-sign Javonte because his stock is going through the roof right now.
I think you make good points. My only counter to that would be, it feels like, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like every running back behind Javonte Williams, we've said, all right, we got to give him the shot. All right, we got to give him the shot. All right, we got to give him the shot. Nobody's really making the most of their shot. All the shots have hit the rim, and so with
Phil hasn't.
He hasn't gotten a chance to take the shot. You're right.
Been allowed in the gym yet.
But my thing with Phil is, Phil Maffa is essentially a bigger Javonte Williams in terms of play style. They're not the same player, is not what I'm saying, but he's your bigger, stronger, kind of between the tackles thumper guy, and Javonte Williams is doing that, and Javonte Williams gives you a little bit more speed. But I think why you see Malik Davis and Jaden Blue mixed into that RB2 equation is because when they get in space, they can be really dangerous. And Phil Maffa just isn't that. So if Brian Schottenheimer in this run attack, if they want to make it kind of like what nobody's going to emulate what Detroit has with Gibbs and Montgomery, but if they want to make it your Thunder and Lightning type of thing, Maffa and Williams doesn't really do that, for me at least. I don't think. That's why I think, you look at, okay, which one of Blue and Davis can give us the best shot? Because if they're only going to get 1 to 3 touches a game, then at that point you're just developing and hoping one of them cracks something open.
I would also argue that the coaching staff, I feel like they know what they see in Jaden Blue. They see the spark there in certain elements. But if anything, I would see them try to basically do another Miles Sanders situation where obviously Miles Sanders is on IR. He's not coming back this season. But I would probably assume that they would take a look at free agency to see who else is out there. Looking at it right now, I really don't see anybody that could make a difference. Royce Freeman was on the roster last year. You kind of saw how that worked out. It wasn't excellent. But I think a running back with pass protection that is able to help in other elements outside of just carrying the ball would be beneficial for this coaching staff. I assume that's where they would go if the option at Phil Maffa is not necessarily this season project.
And I do agree with you, Tommy, in that there is a redundancy there between Phil and Javonte. And ironically, that's actually why I want to see Phil. and let me explain just a little bit. One thing that we've noticed with this Cowboys team, not just this year, but last year, year prior, is the injury bug tends to have its way with this team. And as it stands, if you look at the running back room, the reason we all feel comfortable with it is not because of the depth. It's because of how just damn good Javonte Williams is.
When we were sitting here in training camp talking about this running back room, it was like, oh, yeah, you got a 1A, 1B, and maybe a B or a 2 somewhere in there.
Bell cow was not the thought.
There was no thought at any point. As much as we all liked Javonte Williams, I think there was still a conversation that he would share a significant portion of carries, and that was the case for the first 4 weeks of the year. Now it's like, don't take those carries away from Javonte. Keep him out on the field, and as long as he's going to stay healthy and he's going to run strong like he has been, and that's the big question.
What you just said is something that you have to plan for logistically as long as he stays healthy.
Yep.
You've seen your defense ravaged by injury. You've seen injury bite a couple guys on your offensive side of the ball. You were without CeeDee Lamb for a few games. Just as one example, your offensive line, you just got them whole. Guys back from IR. So I think that you need to, if Phil Maffa is healthy enough to return, you need to get that rookie out there so that you can try to, see what you have from him for 2026 and beyond, but also in the event, knock on all the wood, that something were to occur to Javonte and he were to miss a game or two or whatever. And we know they were up against the gauntlet. We know the trades they made. So I don't know. You're telling me there's a chance? I don't know. But you don't want to find yourself in a situation where it's week 17 and you have to, play for your playoff life, and Javonte's not available, and you're sitting here like,
wish we had
Jaden, Malik, or a Phil Maffa who we've not returned to practice yet.
Right.
I think that all depends on the availability of Phil Maffa at this point, and because at least with Perry and Winfrey, it was all quiet on the Western Front until his 21-day practice window was opened.
Yeah.
So until that happens, we don't necessarily know his conditioning or anything like that right now.
Like,
so hopefully,
saying if
he is, and hopefully it is something to where we can see him this season. I would love to see that as opposed to going out in free agency because, like I said, you're not.
Free agency does not look good.
It's not looking good, buddy. But there are options there. But obviously they like Malik Davis a lot, and the guy came off the couch and had a great game in the preseason, so maybe they're leaning on what he can provide.
And I know they like Jaden Blue a lot too. And look, there's a reason why I'm sitting here and I'm not a football coach somewhere. But my suggestion, far from it, they'd be the worst coach team in history.
You can motivate people.
10.
In terms of X's and O's, I mean, my quarterback's going to have 10 picks in the first quarter, so it's not going to go well.
Make better decisions.
I would tell him that, and he'd still throw picks.
You have the most rushing yards in the league.
We're just handing the ball off every play. No, but with Jaden Blue, when you look back at his time in Texas, and if it's not clear to people already, I'm a big Texas fan, and what made him special there was what he could do. Thank you. Was what he could do in the receiving game. So we see all these like end arounds to CeeDee Lamb or screen passes, tunnel screens to Jalen Tolbert and things like that. I'm still waiting for the first like jet sweep to CeeDee Lamb to actually be a big game. Like, it feels like every time they do that, the defense is all over it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just...
It hasn't worked this year for sure.
But if you're going to run a tunnel screen or something like that, throw Jaden Blue in there. Just get him in space, see what you can do. If you're going to do an end around, see if Jaden Blue can turn the corner and move upfield and get some good blocks down the field too, and see what he can do. I think just getting the ball in his hands and letting him do something with it as opposed to... all right, let's try to navigate him through the tackles. And obviously, as a running back in the NFL, you have to be able to play in between the tackles. But if you don't feel comfortable in getting him in outside zone stuff, just get him outside and let him work and send guys downfield to block for it. So that would be what I would want to see going forward if Jaden Blue is going to be your second option.
I think I feel bad for Tommy sometimes because he tries to give this like legitimate analysis, but anytime it has anything to do with a Texas player,
oh come on,
we all roll our eyes.
That
and
was
it's just like it was legitimate analysis. Okay. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, but what you're saying there is true. Is they haven't put dogs. We haven't had a ton of them. Now you've got George Pickens and he's balling out, so you're fine. But I think you have a point in they haven't given Jaden Blue the opportunity to do what he does best when he's in the game, and that's get him in space. They've run him in between the tackles, and they've run him into the line of scrimmage over and over and over again. And then they're like, oh, you had your 3 carries, your 3 touches, we're good. Get a little creative there. Let's get them out in space a little bit. The screen game hasn't worked great this year as a whole for Dallas, but when it has worked, it's sprung for big gains. Mm-hmm. And so, and a lot of that was with Miles Sanders early in the season. It was with Javonte Williams once or twice. And then we've seen a couple from a wide receiver standpoint, mostly Turpin. So, maybe you have an opportunity with another weapon like that outside to do it. But every time he's like, man, like, you know, Jaden Blue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. I feel bad for you, but you bring up a great point.
Maybe Turpin's your RB2. I don't know.
He went to TCU. Tommy doesn't like him.
Why not? Whoa, I got no problem with TCU.
I'm just kidding.
I would argue Tommy is a lot of things, but being sort of naive to his bias is not one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Josh.
I think he understands, and I think he's very critical, even of the guys that he supports.
Who's the best edge rusher in the upcoming draft?
Oh, I don't know who.
In the upcoming draft?
No, 2027 draft.
Colin Simmons.
Colin Simmons. Where's he go to school?
Texas.
I don't know.
Turn the tape on. Turn on the tape.
Man.
I don't know, Jim.
Disagree with me. I'm sorry. That kid is unbelievable.
He is really good.
Maybe Dylan Stewart at South Carolina has an argument.
How's Bain playing? I like Bain.
He's next year.
Oh, he's 26.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he hasn't
got hurt on
super
Saturday.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, no?
No.
Started the year off well.
I've been a little disappointed. I thought he would just wreck shop.
That's all right.
I thought
let him get to the 20s.
I was going to say, the question is, will he be there later in the first round?
I would be down.
Okay.
I would be down.
Let him get to the 20s.
We'll be there. I've seen
if
enough.
Not, Dallas will be waiting in the 4th.
I don't like Brandy.
All right. When we come back here on Talking Cowboys, we're going to wrap up this show by talking about our bye week wish list. What are some of the things that you wish for the Cowboys following the bye week that they can bring to the table in this really tough stretch of games that's coming up? Maybe Colin Simmons might be the case in 2027 when we come back right after this.
If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service, guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Back with you here on this Monday following the bye week, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company with Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish. Chris Beam is in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans. So glad you're with us. Continuing on, post-bye week now. The Cowboys now hit this stretch of games. Easy games, right?
Absolutely not.
Pretty solid, schedule, pretty favorable from here on out. What is it, the Raiders? And then you play, the Chiefs and the
got
Eagles,
Eagles, Chiefs,
4 days apart.
Yeah,
you got Monday, Sunday, Thursday.
You get like Lions and the Vikings, who won like 13 games last year only. Chargers, who look pretty good at times. Did they win last night? By the way, I felt
they did.
Oh yeah, Chargers
came back to win that game. Or they were
they were dominating.
They dominated that game. Never mind.
Towards the end of the first,
tells you how much I watched of that game last.
It was a defensive battle to start off, and then towards the end of the first quarter, or maybe was it the second quarter?
They just went off.
Yeah.
Second half, they started to go away with it. It helps when the opposing quarterback can't move left to right, but or north to south, or anywhere for that matter. But
shots fired.
Yeah.
You don't like AA, Ron?
No comment.
No, I do not.
The unbiased reporting of Tommy Yarrish.
There it is.
No comment.
It's on display.
No comment.
I'll counterbalance it. No. Don't like Aaron.
Don't like him. Yeah. A lot of our listeners probably don't either. Post bye week wish list. We're getting close to the holiday season, right? Some people have their Christmas lights up. They've got their holiday festivities starting this week and maybe getting into the later parts of November. Then we got Thanksgiving coming up. Then we've got happy holidays, everything for the next 2 months. So a lot of people just like to make holiday wishes, right? We're going into the holiday season. Let's make a wish list. I want to go around.
Okay.
We'll keep going until we run out of ideas.
Okay.
But I want you to give me one thing at a time that the Cowboys you wish would do following the bye week, or you wish for the Cowboys following the bye week.
Okay.
And it could be broad stroke, it could be specific. It doesn't matter.
I'm going to the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
This will come as no surprise to Cowboys fans. I want to see more man coverage. You're going to get, as it stands, the plan is you'll get Savon Revel, rookie third-round pick out there.
Excited about that.
Against the Raiders on Monday Night Football. You'll get DeMarvion Overshown back on the field at the same time that you're debuting Logan Wilson in that unit in the Cowboys uniform. Same day you're debuting Quinnen Williams alongside Kenny Clark. I just don't see DeMarvion Overshown.
Oh, you did say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't see a reason why you should still be relying solely on zone coverage. So for me, and I'm not saying go 100% man. I'm saying it needs to be a healthy balance. A 50-50 split would be wonderful for me because I want to keep the opposing offenses guessing.
Yeah.
One thing for me, it's sort of a broad stroke here, but I really want the turnover margin to start swinging the right way for us. I really want the defense to be battling for turnovers. I really do. Obviously, you always expect that. You always want that. But I think the improvement of your defensive line now, the improvement of your linebacker core, especially with Logan Wilson, who has 11 interceptions on his career already, I think that's going to be a great addition and going to get you sort of in the, I guess, plus column?
Plus?
Probably
plus.
Plus in terms of turnovers for your defense, forced turnovers.
Yeah.
So you really want to see that. That would be the biggest thing for me. That would help your defense that is struggling. They're going to give up yards. That's going to be a sort of recurring theme throughout the season. But one thing that we've said before and we'll say again, if you have a bend but don't break defense, the one thing that really emphasizes that wins you games is turning the ball over. Give me that.
I like it.
I'll do a quick two-part if that's okay. One
at a time, and then we'll keep going.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think we'll start. Go back to defense. I think the Cowboys need to wish that Savon Revel looks like the first-round pick that he looked like before his injury. I think if that's the case, then you think about the future with this Cowboys secondary.
Just gave me chills
this season. When you get Trayvon Diggs back, and hopefully he's got his legs back under him, you can move Deron Bland to the slot. And if Revel's playing at a high level, Diggs, Revel, and Bland, I think that you're looking at a pretty good trio right there. Because I think, look, I'm a big believer in Revel. I think he's the real deal if he's healthy. And, you turn on the tape of him at East Carolina, and a guy that size with that long of arms, you don't really see that very much at the cornerback position. So if they can capitalize on him and his health and he plays well, I think that's going to bode really well for this defense, especially how much they invested in the front seven.
I'm going to go to the offensive line. I'm going to say your offensive line through the first 4 or 5 weeks of the year protected Dak Prescott at a high level. They were running the ball effectively at a high level. And sometime around right after the Jets game, going into the Panthers game, there's just been some uncertainty up front. Maybe it was the injury to Cooper Beebe. I know that played a significant factor, but he's been back now. Now, how do you continue to build on it? You've got your starting 5 offensive linemen at this point in the season, all healthy for the most part. You're coming off a bye week, so you're extra rested. I feel pretty good about that. If you were to tell me going into week 11 that you're going to have your starting 5 offensive linemen, everybody pretty solid up front, I'd say, all right, this team's going to be able to put up some yards, protect Dak Prescott, and have some protection up front. I want to see solidified confidence in your offensive line. That's what I wish for over these next couple of games, because I know injuries are a part of the game and people are probably not going to be up there. We could talk about this in week 17 or 18, and it's going to be a completely different story with your offensive line. But right now, you've got them all. Let's see what this looks like and how you can build upon that. And that's my wish list.
I'm going to, Josh, I'll see your takeaways, and I'll raise you penalties. I need this team as a whole on both sides of the ball, in all 3 phases, I should say. Just go ahead and throw special teams in there as well. I need this team to figure out how to not shoot itself in the foot. Stop killing drives with pre-snap penalties or post-snap penalties like holds and things like that. I get it. You know, some calls are bogus. Every team deals with bogus calls here and again. But control what you can control. You can control if you false start. You can control defensively if you're lining up in the neutral zone. You can control if you're lined up correctly, if you're a wide receiver for the Cowboys. So those things have to come to a cease, or as much of a cease as possible, because, again, bogus calls are going to happen. Okay, fine. Nothing you can do about that. But those pre-snaps and those post-snaps that don't involve what we call competitive flags and things like that, just cut it out. Cut it out, because you're not doing your team any service. And I will also add that this is not a team that can afford to suffer those penalties and still overcome, because they already have so much to overcome as is. When you talk about the defense being the worst in the league statistically, when you talk about the offense having its struggles these past couple of games trying to figure some things out, don't compile the issue by, false start. Now you're behind the chains, and now other teams get to pin their ears back as your offensive line tries to solidify, and they're, hitting Dak 7 times a game, sacking him 5 times. Like, just cut out the flags.
One more thing for me, at least. We're getting into the holiday season. We're about to see a lot of holiday meals, lots of carbs coming our way.
Beans,
love it.
Green,
Let's go.
Tomato.
One thing I need to see a little more of, big biscuits.
Okay, see what you did.
You know what we're talking about?
See what you did there.
You know what we're talking about?
A little bit of Fergie.
Jake Ferguson.
Yeah.
Where you been, brother?
Yeah.
No, I feel like over the last few weeks, obviously teams
I
are.
know where that was going.
Yeah,
They're taking.
I like it.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle.
I like
Oh,
it.
Come on, Tommy.
I just said I like it.
A little creative language, buddy.
It was
We're talking
great.
biscuits,
It was excellent.
baby.
It was excellent.
Absolutely.
Well done.
Let's go.
Big biscuit, in fact.
Biscuits.
Well, he's been schemed up for opposing defenses over the past couple of weeks. He's been kind of bullied out there. You see him getting double teamed. You see him getting flushed out of his routes. And I miss the Jake Ferguson going up against Seattle and bowing up to some dudes. You know what I'm saying? I miss that big biscuit, dude. So please make a comeback. Get physical out there. Fight for those yards. I want to see more yards after carry or after catch for Jake Ferguson. That's what I want to see.
Well, building off of that, I think Mr. Ferguson needs to share some of the biscuits with his offensive line. Building off of Kyle's point, you were talking more about protecting Dak. I think that the last couple of weeks, not that it's been bad, but I think early on in the season, they were having so much success moving things around in the run game for Javonte Williams, and it hasn't been as successful in the last few weeks. So if they can get back into a rhythm, and sure, they've been separated for a couple of games because everybody's been hurt, but now that you're back at full strength, you've got a bye week to correct some things. This should be a game where, against this Raiders front seven, you can push things around a little bit, especially in the interior. I think their edge presence is obviously with Crosby and Wilson on the other side can be really good, but if you can move things around on the inside and get Javonte some gaps, that's really going to help. And ultimately what that does too, and the biggest thing that does is it opens play action, and that's where Dak is at his best.
I like it. Anybody else have anyone more you wanted to get on the wish list?
Yeah, I got one more.
Run.
I got one more. Justin Simmons. Continue.
Oh.
Whoa.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Quandre Diggs.
Yeah, one more. Okay. All right. Can we say these names? I don't even.
They're free agents.
They're free agents now.
Colin Simmons. Is that allowed?
I guess it's 2 years down the line. You only got one more first round pick.
I'm just saying a name, dude.
No,
I didn't say anything about
agent.
didn't realize he was a free agent.
As is
All right.
Asante Samuel
Florence
Jr.,
Pugh.
who
I can
has-
say names.
I did see Asante.
I'll say names all day, buddy.
Yeah, keep on going.
Asante Samuel
Josh
Jr.
Rodriguez.
Now
Natalie
cleared.
Portman.
All right, that does it for us here on Talking Cowboys. My final wish for the post-bye week for the Dallas Cowboys, just to put it on the board. I wish the Cowboys would just go ahead and win the Super Bowl and just make it real
There's
easy.
only one thing left to do.
Yeah, might as well.
No big deal.
Yeah,
Whole
let's just check
blinking
that
thing.
box and get that out of the way. We love you guys. We appreciate you being patient
Win it
with
for
us.
Marshon.
I love it. I appreciate you guys being patient with
Go
us
Fanning.
in the early parts of this show. We love you guys. You are our family, and we really do appreciate you tuning in and all the love that you send our way. We see all of it, and we appreciate you all the way through. For Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Tommy Yarrish, Chris Beam in the back, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long from Talking Cowboys. We'll answer your phone calls tomorrow with a Talkin' Tuesday. We'll see you then.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!